So what is the books of 1st and 2nd Chronicles about? They're about essentially the kingdom falling apart. Now, let's talk about the authorship real quick. And the authorship of these books, 1 Samuel and 2 Samuel is a compilation of writings. Most of 1 Samuel was written by Samuel prior to his death in chapter 24. And then there's this obvious focus that takes place in the book of 1 Samuel to prove that David is the rightful king of Israel and did not usurp the throne when he had the opportunity. 2 Samuel was likely written either by the prophets Nathan and or Gad. Remember, in the Hebrew Bible, 1st and 2nd Samuel are one book. It's the book of Shmuel. And so the books aren't divided. It's exactly the same content, but it is all one book. We, in the Christian Bible, divide it. And it got divided, by the way, in 200 BC when Jewish scholars translated the Hebrew Bible into Greek, which of course is called the Septuagint. As for the authorship of 1st and 2nd Kings, which we've covered, most scholars believe that Jeremiah was Jeremiah the prophet. Some attribute it to Ezra. Jeremiah most likely, since he was prominent during this time. But Ezra is the person attributed with writing 1st and 2nd Chronicles for several reasons. And the reason is that 2nd Chronicles ends with the exact same passage that Ezra begins his book with. And so Jewish scholars have always held Ezra as the writer. And so sometimes people see the overlap between Kings and Chronicles and wonder why they're both in the Bible. 1st and 2nd Kings focuses on both the north and southern kingdom. 1st and 2nd Chronicles focuses on the southern kingdom of Judah. It begins with a genealogy from Adam all the way to the monarchy. Chapter 10 deals with Saul's death, and then chapter 11 begins David's reign. And the other things that 1st Chronicles does is that it chronicles the names of the people who serve. We have the names of the priests in chapter 24, musicians in chapter 25, gatekeepers in chapter 26, and the leaders of the tribes in chapter 27. And so by the time you get to the end of 1st Chronicles, Solomon is crowned king of Israel. 2nd Chronicles begins with the reign of Solomon. Once again, in the Hebrew Bible, it's one book, not two. And so, by the way, in the Hebrew Bible, Chronicles is at the end of the Bible. And the Hebrew Bible has three divisions: the law, the prophets, and the writings. Samuel and Kings are found in the prophets section, specifically the former prophets like Joshua and Judges. And that's because 1st and 2nd Kings was likely written by Jeremiah, and Chronicles was written by Ezra the priest. And so Chronicles is found in the writings along with books like Psalms, Proverbs, and others. But Chronicles is the retelling of Israel's monarchy in light of their return from Babylonian exile in 539 BC. And so its message is this strong theological statement that claims, despite experiencing God's punishment through exile, that the God of Israel is still with them, even during the exile, and will bring them back from exile. And that no matter whatever has happened, if they're in their land or not, Yahweh is still Israel's God. And so that's the key. That's the key to understanding the book. That's the message of the book. And I hope it's helpful. Once again, like it, share it, comment it on it, frame it, print it, whatever it is that you do. But if this is helpful, if you could help us get the word out, that would be awesome, because we want people to have biblical content that's going to help them in their walk with God. So until then, my friends, keep reading. We'll see you in the next one.